Yo guys, I'm back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be showing you 5 different bedroom designs that you could add into your own builds. Now I do want to mention these bedrooms are more for show, so they're going to be mainly used for creative worlds, but I'm going to go ahead and show you something that you could do with the beds so that you could actually sleep in them to make them a bit more survival friendly. Let's go through and name off each bedroom design. So right here we have modern bedroom at number 1. Then right here we have the beach bedroom. Next up is the traditional bedroom. Then right here we have the kids bedroom. And then modern bedroom at number 2. I'll be sure to add some timestamps on the screen right now so you can skip to that specific part in the video if you want to make a particular room. One more thing I do want to mention, I will be making each room within the original dimensions that I actually made the room in. So let's just go ahead and say you have an empty room in one of your builds right now and you're trying to figure out what to do with it, or maybe you're not very good at interior designing. These rooms are just to kind of give you an idea of what you could add in your own rooms. So you don't need your room to be exactly the same size as the dimensions that I'm going to be using for that bedroom. So I went ahead and gathered up all the blocks we're going to be using for modern bedroom number 1. And one thing I do want to mention, you don't need all of these flowers, just feel free to grab all the ones that you actually like. But I'm going to go ahead and scroll through every single block so you can see which ones you're going to have to go ahead and grab. Alright, for the dimensions of modern bedroom number 1, it's going to be a 13 by 13 block area. One thing I do want to mention, for the square itself, that's where we're going to be bringing up the interior walls. All that grass space within the square is the space for the bedroom itself. So I know most of you are watching this video because you want to know how to do the actual furnishings, and you're not so worried about the construction of the bedroom itself. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go through the process of building up the walls and doing the floors and the ceilings and the windows. I'm going to go through that process pretty quick so that we could head right on into doing the actual furnishings. Because like I said, I know pretty much just about every person that's actually watching this video right now is probably more concerned about the furniture and not so much about bringing up the walls and stuff. So what I'm going to go ahead and start out by doing, I'm going to have my white concrete. And I'm just going to place 2 blocks. I'm here at the front side of the bedroom in case you're wondering. So this is where the doorway is going to be. So I have 2 blocks of white concrete towards the right and 2 blocks towards the left. Now I'm going to go on every other space behind those 2 blocks of white concrete and just add a layer of white concrete right on top of our shape here. So it looks like this. Now I'm going to add a layer of chiseled quartz blocks on top of this white concrete. And then on top of that, I'm going to add 5 more layers of white concrete. So I went ahead and brought up the interior walls for the bedroom. So it's looking like that. I'm going to go ahead and start marking out where the doorway is going to be. Now obviously a normal doorway isn't this wide unless it's maybe leading into, I don't know, like a living room or something. But for a bedroom, it's not normally this wide. The only reason why I had it this wide was for the purpose of showcasing what the bedroom looks like. It just made it a bit easier to have a big opening here. So normally I just like to make my doorways like 2 blocks wide. So maybe you guys could just have like a regular Minecraft door or something. But I'm going to go ahead and just match it up to how I originally did it. So I just have some gray concrete. I'm going to bring this up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll go on to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're left with 2 spaces of white concrete right above it. We're going to connect these, so bring it from one side to the other. And then we're going to have 2 layers, like I said, of the white concrete right on top of that doorway. Okay, so now we have the overall shape of the bedroom marked out. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab some light gray concrete and fill all this space in, like within this top layer of the white concrete. And this is going to be for our ceiling. So now we have the ceiling all marked out. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is head down to the floors. And we're going to carve out a layer of this grass as well as this little strip of yellow concrete here. Just delete this top layer and we're going to replace this with light gray concrete as well for the floors. So there we go, we have our doorway, we have the floors, the ceilings, and the walls. So now I'm going to carve out a few holes where I think it'll be a good spot to add some windows. And then I'm going to cut out some holes in the ceiling for the skylights. So that'll give you guys some ideas, some good spots where you could add your windows. And maybe if you never thought of skylights, that'll be a good little touch to add as well. Some nice natural light coming from the ceiling. And one thing I am going to do, I'm going to double up the layer around the edge, like around the outer edge of our room here. Just like how I did on the original version, just makes it a little bit cleaner when I add the windows and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I just have some gray concrete. I'm going to add an extra layer around the edge of our doorway here. So now our doorway is double thick. I'm going to carve out this little space here and replace that with our floors. And now I'm going to go around the entire outer edge of our square here and just add a layer of white concrete. So I'm going to wrap around the bottom first, and then I'll bring it all the way up to the top, pretty much fill in the walls, and then we'll add an extra layer for the ceiling. So obviously I know pretty much just about every single person who's watching this video right now isn't doing this, but this just gives you an idea, a little extra something you could do for your future builds. You could double up your walls and make it look so much better. So I'm going to go around, I'm just going to do this real quick, not even really going to show it, I'm just going to fast forward it. And yeah, after we do this, we'll carve out the little windows that I have, and then we'll start doing the actual furnishings, which is probably what most of you guys are watching this video for. So I went ahead and added that extra layer around the edge of our, pretty much like on the outside of our room here. So now I'm going to go ahead and carve out the windows. Let's head on inside. And let me just grab some sea lanterns to get a little bit of light in here so we know where we're cutting out our holes at. So I'm going to look at the back wall. I'm going to head on over here to the right. I want to leave one space. So we have these 2 spaces here. And we're going to go ahead and carve all this out. And go ahead and carve out the next layer behind that. So from the floor all the way up to the ceiling, we just cut out 6 spaces. Let's head on over to the side. We're going to carve out the same exact window in the same spot, leaving 1 space at the left. Now, let me go ahead and grab first, let's replace this yellow concrete and these 2 blocks of dirt with some light gray concrete for our floors, so it all flows together really nice. We'll go up here and we'll do the same thing. We'll carve out just these 2 blocks of the light gray concrete. This is going to stay white concrete. Alright, now let's go ahead and grab our black stained glass and just fill this in. We have one window there, and then 1 window here. So we have the 2 back wall windows all marked out. We'll go ahead and delete these now. So there we go. Let's look at the wall where the doorway is. We're going to look at the ceiling. Let's just go to this left corner over here. And we're going to skip over 4 spaces. So we're on the 5th block. So work your way back. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we're on the 5th block. We want to leave 2 spaces from the left wall. So we're going to be on the 3rd block, and we're going to carve out 3 like that, go ahead and carve out that extra layer there. So you can see we look at this wall here. We have 4 spaces of light gray concrete. And then to the left of it, we have 2. Now you want to go behind this strip right here and carve out another 6. So we have a 3 by 3 square like that. And we'll fill in this with our black stained glass on that white concrete layer on the outside. And now we have a skylight right there. We're going to head on over to the right. We want to leave a strip right down the middle. So we're going to go over here and carve out another 3 by 3 square. And now we're going to fill this in, and we have the construction of the bedroom itself all done. I wanted to show this just in case if you may have wanted to see how the actual process of building the bedroom works. So now we have our actual bedroom all laid out, all ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and start doing the furnishings now, which, like I mentioned before, is probably what most of you are actually here for. But like I said, I just wanted to be sure to show how to build the room itself, just in case if there are some of you out there who are wondering how to actually do this part. I went ahead and did it for you, went ahead and showed you step by step. I did go through it pretty quick because I know you guys probably just want the furnishings. So let's go ahead and get right on into that next. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with the bed first. So I'm going to switch to some gray concrete, and we're going to mark out where the headboard is. So I'm going to look over here at this wall. So when you walk through the door, we're looking at the left wall. And we want to leave 3 spaces on each side. So we'll look over here. We have 3 spaces. So we're on the 4th block. And we're going to place 5 blocks of gray concrete like that. On top of it, we're going to have another layer. So now we have the headboard marked out. Go ahead and switch to some light gray concrete. Let's have 2 rows of 3. Switch to the gray, have a row right there. Then back to the light gray, another row there. Now switch to your snow. And we're going to use this for the pillows. Now, if your snow melts right here, go ahead and just swap it out with some white carpet, not concrete. I was going to say concrete. Carpet. It pretty much looks the same. The only thing about the snow is you could stack it like that if you wanted to, add like extra layers so it looks like more pillows. That's why I normally use the snow. I'm just gonna leave it like that though. But yeah, if your snow melts, just go ahead and swap it out with some white carpet. It still does the same thing. You can still tell that they're pillows. Okay, so we have the bed marked out right there, right in the center of this wall right here. And now, over on this wall, let me go ahead and just say what we're going to be doing. We have a big TV over here, a desk right here, a couple nightstands on each side of the bed. We have a carpet in the middle, and some lights in the ceiling and stuff, and that's about it. Okay, so there is one design that I want to add on the wall. So this is why doubled walls come in handy, because you could do stuff like this. So I have my gray concrete. I'm going to carve out a strip right here, right along the edge of our headboard. So we got 4 blocks like that. And then I'm going to replace this with the gray concrete. And then all this space in the middle, we're going to replace with light gray concrete. Just adds a cool pattern on the wall right behind the bed. So it looks like that. Doesn't that look awesome? I think that's such a good feature, and this is why you should double up your walls for your builds so you can add cool stuff like this. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and add our little nightstands. So I'm just going to have a block of quartz right there, 1 space away from the headboard, and then another one there. Now let's go ahead and add a quartz slab in between the headboard and that block of quartz. So it kind of like connects with it, and now we have like a cool like modern looking nightstand. Kind of looks like it's floating right here. And then I'm going to grab some end rods, some gray carpet, and then, oh no, I totally forgot to grab the flower pot. Dang it, I always forget at least one item all the time, and this time it was the flower pot. Go ahead and grab that, and we're gonna have this on the full block of quartz. Oh wait, whoops, no, that's going to be on the slab. My bad. On the full block of quartz is going to be our lamp. So go ahead and grab your end rod, place it on that, And then on top of the end rod, we're just going to have a gray carpet. Looks like a cool, like modern looking lamp. All right, now inside the flower pots, you can just add whichever flower you want. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe do the lily of the valley, and then we'll grab the blue orchid. So I'll have the lily of the valley there, blue orchid over there. That looks good. So now we have the little bed area pretty much all done. Looking good. Now let's add some paintings in the walls. And once again, this is another reason I like to double up my walls, because what I like to do is carve out a hole. And let's just say I didn't have these lamps here and it was like really dark in this area. We could carve out a hole and replace it with a sea lantern. So it gives off extra light, which we could then cover up with a painting. So it adds some decoration, but it also adds some extra light if needed. In this case, we do have the lamps, so we didn't really need that extra light. But just in case, if you don't have lamps or anything and your room is really dark and you have doubled up walls, feel free just to add some paintings on the walls with sea lanterns behind them, and it just gives off an extra light source. So I think that looks good. Now, one last thing I want to do on this wall is just add a little bit of extra decorations on top of the headboard. So I'm just going to grab maybe just like a skeleton skull, and then a flower pot with, how about, we'll do the spruce sapling. I think that's what I had at the original version. So I have maybe the skeleton skull like that, then the sapling right there. And there we go. Pretty much this entire wall, I think, is all done. We will have a carpet in the floor to give off a little extra light right here in the center. But overall, yeah, this is what the bed area is looking like. Couple little extra decorations. We got some nightstands. And yeah, we'll head on over to this wall next. We have a desk, and I believe, as far as I remember, there were some shelves. So we'll get onto this next. Okay, let's mark out where the desk is going to be and the shelves. So we're just going to be using some quartz stairs and quartz slabs. We'll start with the quartz stairs, and we'll have one kind of like on its side right there on the edge of that wall. Then we'll have a slab, another slab, a stair, and another slab. So kind of like that. Maybe we could replace this slab here with the stair as well. Yeah, that looks cool. Now, let's go ahead and mark out where the shelves are going to be. So we have this layer where the chiseled quartz is. We're going to go on this layer where the white concrete is. And we're going to add, or be like, make sure you're on the top layer of this white concrete and add some quartz slabs like that. As well as 3 more here. Make sure you're on the top layer of this level of blocks as well. And they're kind of overlapping right here. Okay. Now, we're going to have like a little laptop. We're going to have a mouse, maybe some extra decorations like a flower pot, maybe a skull. Then we'll have our chair, a drawer. So let's get onto that. We'll start with the drawer. So I have an item frame and a birch trapdoor. So I'm going to place the item frame right there. Inside of it, I'm going to have a birch trapdoor, which I'm then going to flip around like that. So now just like, looks like a little drawer that you could grab. Looks like a handle right there. You could pull it open. Now let's head on to the chair. So I'm going to grab a quartz stair, and we're going to be right where the slab is, right in the center of the desk. We're going to go in this direction and place a chair like that, or like a stair. And then on each side, we're going to have an item frame. Behind the stair, we're going to have an iron trapdoor, or just like an iron door, not trapdoor, just a regular iron door. So there we go. We have the chair for the desk all marked out. Now we want a painting, a small painting. So we'll just place a block here and here so that we could get a small painting right there. That one's cool. I like that. Is it match? Nope. Okay. So that one's good. And then let's go ahead and grab our stone button and stone pressure plate. So the pressure plate is going to be the keyboard, and the button is going to be the mouse. And there we go. That all looks good. I'm going to go ahead and have a lamp right here. So let's have an end rod, and we'll match it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I have the carpet. Normally I have like a block on top of the end rods, but we'll have the carpet like that. So there we go. And then over here, I'll have a wither skeleton skull on the edge, like that. And then here I'll have a flower pot. And how about a cornflower? That one's cool. And there we go. So we have that desk all marked out. And then on top of our shelves here, we'll have maybe another skeleton skull there. And then how about a flower pot and maybe this flower here. And then on top of this, we'll have another flower pot with, how about this one? And that's cool. So now we have this wall all done. We have a desk, some shelves. That's about all I'm gonna do there. And let's go ahead and carve out a hole and mark out where our carpet's going to be. And then we have our entertainment area, so like a TV and some shelves. And then we pretty much have this room all done. Okay, let's go ahead and have our carpet in the floor now. Underneath it, we're going to have some sea lanterns for extra light. So I just have the white carpet, the light gray, and the gray. So let's start with the sea lanterns. We'll go on this side of the bed. We're gonna carve out 2 blocks here, and then an extra 3, so it's 5 in total. It's like lined up with the chair, right in the center. And then over on this side, we're gonna bring it out an extra 3. So over here, it's 1. Over here, it's 3. Now we could connect all these together. It's just like a big rectangle. Let's go ahead and fill all this in with the sea lanterns. Alright, now let's add a cool design with the carpet. So I'll maybe start with the white over here. How about a little something like that? Maybe get rid of that one right there. Then the rest of this could be, yeah, we'll have gray here. Probably like that, that's fine. And then some light gray for the rest of it. We'll see how that looks. Yeah, that looks good. Just a cool little design for the carpet. Alright, now all that's really left to do is this wall over here. Okay, let's go ahead and start with our quartz slabs over on this wall. We'll head towards the right in this corner here. We'll have 2 quartz slabs like that. We'll go over on this side, have another 2. Let's go ahead and grab our quartz stairs. We're gonna have a stair on its side, right up against those slabs. And then 2 more stairs right there. Or actually, this one right here is going to be curving on the edge. So it looks like that. Okay, so we have this stair in the corner, a regular one right here, and then this one's kind of wrapping around the corner. Then right here in the middle, we're gonna go ahead, let's see if we have that. Yep, that's good. A stair right there in the middle adds a little bit of a cool look to this bottom portion here. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna go on the top layer of this white concrete block, add some more slabs. So just enough space so we can still add some stuff here. So we have a block and a half of space. Now let's grab our full blocks of quartz. And we'll place 3 going up on each side. And then back to your quartz slabs, we'll place them on top of these full blocks of quartz and then bring this right along, right down the middle. So now this hole right here is going to be where the TV is. So we'll grab the black concrete and a stone button. So we'll cover up all this, just fill all this in. This is a really big TV. And then a stone button there. So now you can just chill in your bed and watch your ginormous TV. Alright, so we just have some more decorations on this. Let's get on to it. We have the item frame and the music disc. So these are going to look like speakers. So we're going to place these on the full blocks of quartz. And then inside the item frames will be the disc. And there we go, some speakers. Now just some extra decorations on the shelves. We're going to add a little bit more light in the ceiling. And then we are done with this room. So on the shelves, pretty much just add whichever decorations you want. So I just have flower pot. We'll grab all the other flowers that we pretty much haven't used yet. And then we'll also grab the skulls as well. So we'll maybe have a flower pot there and there. And then there and there. Then we'll have that one, and I guess this one again. That's cool. Yeah. And now, let's add maybe some skeleton skulls. So how about this one and this one? And then that and that. I think this room is done. So there we go. A cool, oh yeah, and then the lights. Let's go ahead and add those. So I just had a few in the ceiling. So we'll grab the sea lanterns and the iron trap door. We'll maybe have a light right here. So we'll carve out a hole. We'll replace that with the sea lantern. So this is only if you actually need the extra light. So we'll have another sea lantern maybe right there and right there. We'll fill that or cover these up with the iron trap doors. We'll do the same on this side. So right here, here, and here. All right. And there we go. I think we are good. This room is all done. So this is a cool little, not really little, this is a pretty big room, but this is a cool modern room design that you could do that you can maybe add to your own build. So it gives you a little idea of what to do. All right. And by the way, you can mix match these colors here. Maybe have the light gray on the outer edge and then the gray in the middle. But it's all up to you. I actually think that's what I had on the other side. So we have this one with the gray in the middle, like the light gray in the middle. Then this one has just regular gray in the middle. And I actually think how I did it over here looks a little bit better. It's a little bit lighter. It just makes the room feel a bit brighter on this side instead of having the majority of it gray. But yeah. There we go, guys. So that is 1 bedroom down. We have 4 more to go. Next up, we have the beach room. The reason why I call it that is because it has some birch wood, some of the blues and the whites. I just feel like the colors just give it a beachy vibe. So I'm going to go ahead and call it the beach room. So I went ahead and gathered up all the blocks that we're going to be using. So I'm just going to scroll through them all and you guys could grab all the ones you're going to be needing. Real quick, one block I forgot to grab are the white stained glass panes. So be sure if you do want some windows and you have a spot for some windows, I will be using white stained glass panes. So the dimensions for this room is a little bit smaller. From left to right it's 13 blocks. From front to back it's 10 blocks. Now keep in mind that white concrete you're seeing for that rectangle, that's what we're going to be placing the walls right on top of. So all the grass space within this shape, once again, will be the room, or like the space for the actual room itself. So let's go ahead and start bringing up the interior walls. So I have some light blue concrete first. We'll head on over here to the left. So I'm always going to be starting at the front side of the room, so keep that in mind. We have 2 blocks there and 2 blocks here. Now we're going to go ahead and behind that and all back there, we're going to add a layer of light blue right around the edge. And then the opening right there at the front will be the doorway. For the purpose of the video, it's going to be really wide again, just so we could see a little bit easier inside of it, showcase it a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and have another layer of light blue concrete on top of this. And then we'll have a layer of birch, stripped birch wood. And then 4 layers of light gray concrete. So we have the stripped birch wood and then 4 layers of light gray. Alright, there we go. We have these interior walls all marked out. Looking good. So now, let's go ahead and have the little doorway real quick just to get that out of the way. So I'm going to bring it up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it on over to the other side and down right here. And then 2 layers of light gray. So now let's go ahead and carve out this strip of white concrete here and all the grass within our room. And we're going to replace it with the birchwood planks. Alright, we have the floors filled in, so that all looks good. Now let's go ahead and fill in the ceilings. So I'm just going to switch to some white concrete. We're going to go at the top layer of this light gray for the walls and just fill all this in. And now we're going to go ahead and have some crown molding. So grab your quartz stairs, go right along the top, right here. Just place some upside down quartz stairs right along the edge, all the way around. And now it just looks like some crown molding, some little extra detail in the ceiling. So there we go. And now we're going to carve out a couple windows, and then we'll get on to the actual furnishings. Oh, I am going to add an extra layer of concrete around the edge of this, just like I did on that one. So let me go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to use the light blue concrete. Oh, well, first, let's go ahead and double up our doorway. Then I'm just going to add a layer of light blue concrete around the entire room here. And then after we do that, I'll carve out the windows, and then we'll get on to the actual furnishings. Okay, so I just added the extra layer. Let's go ahead and replace this grass with birch planks. Then we'll go ahead and do our windows, and then we have the actual construction of the bedroom itself done. Then we can start adding the furnishings inside. So, make sure to have your white stained glass paint. And we're going to carve out 6 blocks right here. So we have 1 block, or like 1 layer at the bottom, 1 layer at the top, and 1 layer at the left. Dig out an extra layer right there. And on that second layer is going to be where we're going to place the glass panes. So now because we doubled up the walls, we kind of have like a little window seal here. So if you really wanted to, you could add some decorations on this, maybe like a flower pot or something. So it's just like a little window seal, because you can't do that if your walls were just 1 block thick. You can see right here, you can't place anything. So I think that's just a nice little feature to have. Let's go ahead and have another window in the exact same spot over on this side. And now, like I said before, we have the actual construction of the bedroom itself done. So let's get on to doing the furnishings. And we'll start by doing the lights in the ceiling, so we don't have to worry about lighting because it is a little bit dark in here. So we'll do the lights and then we'll get on to the furnishings. Okay, make sure you have your sea lanterns and iron trap doors. We'll start with the sea lantern. And we're just going to fill 1 corner in each part of the room. And that should be enough. Then we can get onto the furnishings. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with the bed first. That's normally where I like to begin. Make sure to have your full blocks of quartz. We just want to make sure we're right in between the windows. So we're going to place 5 blocks of quartz like that. On top of it, we're going to place 5 quartz slabs. And this is going to be the headboard of the bed. Now let's have a row of cyan concrete, just 3 like that, right in the middle. And then another 3 right behind it. Grab your light blue concrete, have a row of 3 again. Then back to the cyan, another row of 3. Now let's add our pillows. I normally like to use snow. We'll add them right here. Maybe another layer in the middle. If your snow melts, feel free just to replace this with some white carpet. Now, let's grab the quartz slabs. We're going to add a layer right around the edge of the bed. And there we go. We have the bed all marked out. Next up, let's get on to doing the nightstands and then the bushes in each corner. So go ahead and grab your quartz stairs. And then we'll have an end rod. Oh, make sure to keep the... Actually, no, we're going to have cyan on top of the end rods for the lamps. So... we'll start with our quartz stairs, and we'll have 2 side by side like that for the nightstand. We'll go over to this side. We'll do the same thing. There we go. Now, grab your end rod. We'll place it on the corner of the nightstand. On top of it, we'll have the cyan concrete. So now we have 2 lamps right there. Gives off a little extra light and adds some extra decoration. Now, let's have a flower pot for the empty space, for the other empty space on the nightstands. So I'll just use some blue orchids on each side. It all matches, it looks good. Okay, next up, let's add our bushes in the corner right next to the nightstands. So we're just gonna use a jungle log. 3 oak leaves will be going up, and then we'll have the jungle trapdoor to cover up the log. So, jungle log like that. Jungle trapdoor to cover up that side, and then 3 oak leaves going up. Head on over here, do the same thing. So log, trapdoor, and 3 oak leaves. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and carve out... Here, let's see. We could have some light up here, but maybe not down here because that'll probably end up melting my snow. As you can see, my snow normally doesn't melt unless there's a light source right next to it. So I think we'll be okay to have maybe just a little sea lantern right here to give off some extra light. I don't think that should melt the snow. I think that should be good. And then we're going to have a 6-block painting here. So I have a 4-block one here, and maybe a single one here and a single one here. So let's go ahead and grab the paintings. We'll place maybe an extra block right there so that we can hurry up and place a painting like that. And then let's go ahead and have 2 small ones here. So like that. I don't like that color. That one's cool. I really do not like that one. And that one. That's fine. And there we go. So that's we pretty much got this entire wall all done. We got the bed right in the middle. Now, we'll head on over to the left side. That's a little bit easier, just a little storage thing here. And then we'll head on to this other wall. So let's head on to this one next. So I'm just going to have 3 blocks of quartz like that. We have 2 spaces on the left of it, 2 spaces on the right. In front of these blocks of quartz, we're going to cover it up with some birch trapdoors. Then, let's have an end rod and a cyan block for a lamp there, little extra light source. And then we'll have a flower pot with maybe the lily of the valley right there. And then over here, just a skeleton skull. And that's all we're going to really have over here. I guess we could have another bush right here. Why not? You know, we'll go ahead and do it. Fill in some space. So I have a log right there, jungle trapdoor on each side of it. Then we'll grab these oak leaves and fill that in. Yeah, that's cool. Real quick, since we did make some adjustments over here, you can see how this is a little bit uneven now. So I think it'll be better just to add an extra block here for this little storage area. Then another birch trapdoor. Get rid of that and move it over. And that's fine. Yeah, I like that. Let's go ahead and have our carpet wrapped around the edge of the bed. So we're going to have some sea lanterns, which will then be covered up with the carpet. So let's head on over here to the left. We'll carve out 2 blocks here, right on the edge of the bed, lined up with it. And then 1 more, so we carve out 3. So 2 here, and then 1 more, 1 block further than the bed. Now, let's go in, and we'll carve out 2 here, and 2 there. And then we're going to go ahead and have 3 here. Then carve out all the space in the middle. So there we go, it's kind of just like a rounded off carpet. So we filled that in with the sea lanterns. That gives off the rest of the extra light needed for this room because it was a little bit dark. So now let's go ahead and wrap around. How about some light blue carpet around the edge like this. Then the rest of it in the middle we'll just have cyan. And there we go. So we have that all marked out. So we'll start with the desk first. I have a quartz stair. We're going to place it on its side right there. And then we're going to have a quartz slab, and then a quartz stair again, in the opposite direction. Alright, let's go ahead and have our chair lined up with that slab right in the middle. Off to the left, we're going to have a flower pot with a fern. And then we'll have... Let's see, we want to make sure the painting, we can still place it. Here, let's go ahead and do our chair. So I have the birch trapdoor behind the stair, and then item frame on each side. Okay, so now for the painting, let's go ahead and maybe just place that and that. And it's still gonna go off to the left over here, so let me just delete that real quick. So we can place the painting, that's cool. Replace this again. And then we'll have our button, and the stone pressure plate. The button's sideways, but that's okay. You can still tell what it is. Alright, and we have the desk done. Let's have our storage area here. So just some full blocks of quartz, some birch trap doors, and we have our quartz slabs. So 6 full blocks of quartz, 2 quartz slabs, and then birch trap doors to cover up these full blocks. And there we go. We are done with this room now. So that all looks pretty good. Next up, we have the traditional room. And I went ahead and gathered up all the blocks that we're going to be using for this room. And real quick, I do want to mention the white stained glass paints are only going to be used for the windows. There's no furniture that's going to be using these white stained glass paints. So if you don't plan on doing any windows, then you do not need these. But I'm going to go ahead and scroll through, and you can see all the blocks you're going to need to grab. I went ahead and marked out the dimensions for the traditional room. So from left to right, it's going to be 17 blocks, and from front to back, it's going to be 11. So we're going to be placing the interior walls on top of that white concrete. So all that grass space within the shape is the actual space for the room itself. And once again, on top of that white concrete is where we're going to actually be placing the walls. We're going to go ahead and start bringing up the walls now. So I have my white concrete, and I'm going to start at the side where the doorway is going to be. So I'm going to have 2 blocks on each side. And then all this space in between it is going to be empty. All the other space, we're going to add an extra layer of white concrete. Okay, so we have 1 layer like that. Let's go up again and add 1 more. Now, let's switch to some chiseled quartz blocks, add a layer on top of the white concrete. And now on top of the chiseled quartz, we're going to switch to our green concrete and add 4 layers on top of that. Now I have the spruce wood. I'm going to just shape out the doorway real quick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I mentioned this with all the other builds, like all the other rooms. You could just have your own doorway. This is just, I'm just making this doorway the same way that it was at the original version that I made. But you can make the doorway however you like. All right, let's go ahead and have the 2 layers of concrete on top of this now. And there we go. Let's go ahead now, grab our white concrete, and we're going to go within the top layer of our walls here and just add a layer of white concrete. Okay, before we do the rest of the decorations in the ceiling, let's go ahead and carve out this strip of white concrete here and all the grass within our room. And we're going to fill this in with the dark oak planks. And there we go. We have the floors, the ceilings, and the walls all filled in. So like I did for all the other ones, I'm going to double up the walls. So I have my spruce wood. I'm going to add an extra layer on our doorway here. And then I'm going to go around the entire outer edge of our room here and just double it up with some green concrete. So I'm going to wrap around the bottom here and then bring it all the way up to the same height as the walls are right now. And then we'll add an entire extra layer of green concrete on the top. Let me go ahead and add an extra strip of dark oak planks here. And then I'm gonna have a couple windows. We still have to do the little details in the ceiling. And then we have the actual construction of the bedroom done. Then we could get on to doing the actual furnishings. Alright, next up, let me go ahead and mark out the windows. So I just have my white stained glass panes. We want to leave one space here at the bottom and 2 spaces at the right. And we're going to carve out 6 spaces. And then we are left with 2 spaces at the top. Like that. We're going to go on the outer layer and add our white stained glass panes. So now we have like a little window seal here. Alright. Head on over here and we're going to have the same window. And now let me go ahead and do the extra detail in the ceiling, and then we'll get on to doing the furnishings. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and actually do all the details in the ceiling along with the furnishings that we're gonna have. So we're gonna have the fireplace over here, and it's gonna be going all the way up to the ceiling, and we're gonna be wrapping around the crown molding. So it'll just make it easier to go ahead and do the crown molding after we add the fireplace. Same goes with the bed design that I have over here. So we'll go ahead and just jump right on into the furnishings. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just add a couple sea lanterns so we can still see. Since we're not adding any light quite just yet. I think that's good, we can see. Alright, so I have my blocks of quartz. And I'm gonna go ahead and head on over here to the right side. So when you walk through the door, you head on over to the right, and we're gonna start by placing where the bed is. So, I have full blocks of quartz. And we want to leave 2 spaces on each side. So we're going to be on the 3rd block. And we're going to place it 6 blocks in height. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Goes all the way up to the ceiling. So 2 spaces over here. We're going to have 6 as well. Okay. Now right in the middle, here at the bottom, we're going to add 3 layers. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Up here at the top, we'll go ahead and fill in 3 like that. We're going to have some crown molding wrapping around that part there. Now, let's go ahead and grab our quartz stairs. We're going to have one here and here, then up there and up there. And then we're going to curve them all together in the middle. So 1 there and 1 there. Now, let's grab our quartz stairs. We're going to have some nightstands. So 2 quartz stairs side by side like that. Over here as well. Oh, there we go. And now switch to some quartz slabs. So we're going to go on the top layer of this chiseled quartz here on the wall and place 2 quartz slabs like that. So that's going to be a little shelf. So we're 1.5 blocks above these stairs here. Go ahead and have 2 slabs here as well. Now let's grab some full blocks of quartz, and we're going to have 5 right here. And we're going to delete that. Let me move it right there. Okay. Now, let's have a quartz stair on each side, facing in that direction. And then we're going to have 3 upside down quartz stairs right in the middle like that. And then 3 quartz slabs on top of that. So we're starting the headboard of the bed. And now we're going to be using green concrete and, was it light gray or gray? Yeah, it was light gray. Go ahead and use that. Why not? Okay, so we have the green concrete. We're going to have 2 rows of 3 like that, so 6 in total. And then we're going to have a row of light gray, and then a row of green. And what I'm actually going to do for these stairs here, let's go ahead and curve these corner ones. So curve that one and that one, just like that. Adds a little bit more to it. Okay, and now let's add our pillows. So I just have some snow, and I'm going to add 3 right here, and maybe an extra one like that. And if your snow melts, I mentioned this in the other bedrooms, if your snow melts, just go ahead and replace that with white carpet. Okay, let's grab our quartz stairs again. And we're going to have 3 curving together here to start off the footboard. And then we're going to have a full block of quartz, or whoops, my bad, a quartz stair on each side of that. And then 3 quartz slabs on top of those quartz stairs in the middle. And then right along the sides here, we're going to have 4 quartz slabs. And there we go. We have the bed all laid out. That looks really good. And I'm thinking, should this be dark gray instead? Let's go ahead and see. I think that looks better. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, we'll do that. Alrighty then. And now, in order to get rid of this sea lantern real quick, let's add a couple lanterns. So I have one right there and right there. We'll delete that. Then we'll have another one maybe here and there. So now we have enough light over here on this wall. And I think that looks really good. So we have all that marked out. Let's add a couple more decorations on our nightstands and our shelves. So I'll just grab, oh man, I forgot the flower pot again. I forgot it in the first modern bedroom as well. I always forget something, most of the time. Okay, let's have, yeah, we should have some wither skeleton skulls as well. And then I have a couple flowers that I'm gonna use. Okay, so I have a flower pot there with maybe a fern. Over here we'll have the white tulip. And then on top here, we'll have a couple skulls. That's good. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and mark out where the fireplace is going to be. We're gonna have a couple chairs right here, like little couches with a table. And then just a couple other little decorations. We have to do the crown molding in the ceiling still. And then we have this room all done. So this is what we got so far. Next up, we're going to head on to the fireplace. And I do want to mention real quick, make sure you have fire spread turned off so your room or house or building doesn't burn down. So I have my quartz slabs and we're going to leave one space here at the left. We're going to bring it out by 2. Head on over to the right, do the same thing in the same spot. And then we'll wrap this around. And there we go. We have like a large rectangle with some quartz slabs. Let's grab our quartz stairs. We're going to place an upward one right there in the corner where the slabs are. And then an upside down one above that. Then an upward one again. And then an upside down one going from one side to the other. Now let's have an upside down sideways stair right underneath these upside down ones. And then we'll have one to curve them all together right in the middle there. Okay. Now let's head on up here to the top, grab some full blocks of quartz. We're going to place 2 on each side. And then we'll go ahead and fill in 3 right there in between in the middle. And then grab some quartz stairs. And I guess you could do these either way. Let's see if we do it like this with them upside down curving together. Or we could do it the other way, kind of facing up and curving together. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it like that actually, because it looked a little bit weird having these ones and these ones in the same direction. So now they're kind of like opposite, as you can see. The back side of the stairs here, back side of the stairs there, they're facing opposite from each other. Next up, let's start cutting out some of these extra blocks here where the fire is going to be. So delete these 6 blocks of white concrete. And then you can see we have green concrete back here. If we delete this, that's going to expose this wall. So normally what you would have here is a chimney. So let's go ahead and first fill this in with the full blocks of quartz here. Then we have this white concrete on each side, which we're also going to fill in. And then let me go ahead and delete this block here. So we could go underneath and kind of just carve out a couple blocks. We'll replace this with quartz as well. Just like that. And we're going to leave it just like that. So now it looks like there's a hole up here and it looks like the smoke is actually going somewhere. And instead of just leaving this entirely flat, kind of looks a little bit weird. We're going to just make it look like there's a little hole up here so all the smoke could leave the house. All right, let's go ahead and replace this slab here. Now we're going to delete these 6 blocks here in the ground. Replace that with netherrack. And once again, like I mentioned, before you light this, make sure fire spread is turned off. And we're going to go ahead and add our fire now. And now you can see on the outside, there is going to be some extra blocks here. So like I mentioned, You could just, you know, add a chimney here however you like. I have done a bunch of chimneys for all my other, like, for my actual house tutorials, so you could check those out, maybe get an idea of a chimney design you could do. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mark out where the chairs are, these little couches that we're gonna have here. We're gonna have a little table, and then we'll also add our carpet where the bed is. So let's grab the gray concrete, and we have our quartz slabs. And with the gray concrete, we're gonna have kind of like a little U shape. So how about a couch right there, and another one right here. So we're lined up at the edge of the fireplace. We're 1 block away from the fireplace, and then we added these shapes. In that extra space there, we're gonna have a quartz slab, and then we're gonna have 3 quartz slabs right here in the middle as a little table. So there we go. And now we go ahead and carve out 3 spaces here, which we're going to replace with gray wool. And then the rest of the space around the edge here, so we'll bring this back. How about, is that too far right there? We'll go ahead and bring that back in. So we have 3 spaces here, bringing it 1 space further than the edge of the bed. So like that. And we're gonna fill all of this in with the sea lanterns. And this will give off an extra light source for this room. And the reason why we have the wool here is because normally if I were to have sea lanterns here, you'd be able to see them after I cover it up with the carpet. So let me go ahead and add the carpet real quick. So we'll have green on the edge, those 4 spaces, and then gray here. And you can see the carpet, or the sea lantern still. And in order for it to look like the carpet's actually going underneath the bed, we're gonna go ahead and have some wool there. And there we go. And we could maybe bring this, yeah, we could bring this over 1 more, I think. We don't necessarily have to have a sea lantern there. Let's just go ahead and cover it up with a green carpet. There we go. I like that. I think that looks a little bit better. Makes the carpet look better. Okay. So there we go. We have all that taken care of. Let's add a painting here. So we'll fill this hole in with sea lanterns. Let me grab the paintings. All right. Maybe that one and that one. I like that. So there we go. We have that on the wall. Now the only thing left to do for this room is the ceiling. We're gonna have a chandelier. And then, yeah, we are done with this one. Let's go ahead and start with the quartz stairs. And we'll look at the fireplace wall first. We'll place 2 quartz stairs like that. And we'll just wrap around the fireplace, the top of it here. And it looks like that. Now, let's go bring this along all the way to the other side. And kind of just like do the same thing, just wrap it around here. So just upside down quartz stairs wrapping around the top edge of the wall, right along the ceiling. Okay. So if we look at it, that's what it's looking like so far. It's all symmetrical. Now let's go to our quartz slabs. We'll have them in each corner right there. Okay. That looks good. Okay, next up, let's go right down the middle on each side and place 5 slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're gonna go on each side, back at the start, and place another slab like that. Head on over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in each corner there. Now we got this space right here in the middle, so we wanna leave that space empty. We're gonna place 3 slabs on this side, and 3 over here to form a square like that. Then let's have another 2 slabs in this empty space in between here like that. And we could just leave it as it is, or we could add an extra slab here. So let me think. Okay, I guess this is up to you guys. If you want it like that, adds a little bit more, or if you want to leave it, whoops, leave it like that. If we fill in this corner, it matches up with everything else. We have that corner, that corner, that corner. So yeah, let's go ahead and have this corner as well. So it's all symmetrical. Okay, there we go. Now, right down here in the middle, let's grab some dark oak fences and some lanterns, and we're gonna have a little chandelier. So we'll bring it down 1, 2, and 3. Is that too low? I don't think that's too low. I think I had it maybe like right here, and then had the lanterns hanging down from underneath. Or did I have it here and have the lanterns on top of it? I guess it's up to you. Let me go ahead and see what this one looks like. So there's like 2 different designs you could do. So you could either have the chandelier like this, like that, with the lanterns on top and having the chandelier hanging down a little bit lower. Or you could have it up 1 layer and have the lanterns hanging down from underneath, which I think is what I'm gonna do. Since it has that extra little chain for the lantern, I think it does look better. Yeah, I'll go ahead and leave it like that. Okay, now one final thing we have left to do for this room. We're gonna grab the jungle trapdoors and the sea lanterns. I'm gonna add a little bit of extra light here in the ceiling. So 1 here, cover that up. 1 right here. And then 1 here. And 1 over here. Whoops. And there we go. And that definitely topped off this room. It looks a lot better now. That was like the final thing we needed to add to make this room look really good. Alright, this one is done. The nice looking traditional room. So next up we have the kids' bedroom. And then after that is the final room, which is the modern bedroom number 2. I went ahead and gathered up the blocks we're going to be using for the kids' bedroom. And real quick, let me actually go ahead and grab this white stained glass pane because we will be using that for the window. But if you don't plan on doing a window once again, then you don't have to worry about that block. But I'm going to scroll through them all so you can see which ones you're going to have to grab. I went ahead and marked out the dimensions for the kids' bedroom next. So from left to right, it's going to be 8 blocks. From front to back, it's going to be 9. Now real quick, like I mentioned for all the other ones, the walls for the room are going to be placed on top of that orange concrete. So all that grass space within the square is going to be the space for the bedroom itself. Okay, let's go ahead and start bringing up the interior walls for this room. So I have my orange concrete, and I'm going to be starting at the wall where the doorway is going to be. So I'm going to place 2 blocks of orange concrete on each side like that. And now all the other space on top of the rest of the orange concrete, we're going to add an extra layer of orange like that. Next up, let's go ahead and have our gray concrete. And we're going to have 2 layers on top of the orange. And now on top of that gray, we're going to have 4 layers of orange again. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the pillar quartz blocks. We're also going to need some stone buttons. And I'm going to shape out where the door frame is going to be. So with the pillar quartz blocks on each side, we're going to place 5 going up. Alright. In the middle, we're going to have 2 sideways blocks like that. And then we're going to have some corner ones. So what I'm actually going to do is double up this doorway. So we're going to place a block like that in the corner so you can see the inside of the pillar. We're going to have 2 more sideways ones in between those. And then we're going to go down underneath and have the pillars going just straight up and down like that. And then if we look at it from the other side, There we go. Let's go ahead and straighten these blocks out so it's like a corner again. And then let me go back and add 2 extra layers of orange concrete here. And then we're going to have stone buttons to cover up the corner blocks. Okay. And there we go. So, next up, let me go ahead and delete these 2 blocks of orange concrete. I'll also delete these 2 blocks of dirt and all the other dirt, or grass, I guess, within the room here. And we're going to replace the floors with some, what was it, gray concrete? Yeah, we'll go ahead and use that. So we'll grab the gray concrete, or you can maybe use light gray. I guess it's up to you. Okay, there we go. So we have gray concrete floors like that. Have it all filled in. So that all looks good. For the ceilings, I'm going to go ahead and make that white concrete. So I'm going to go at the top layer of these walls and fill all this in. And now, one last thing I like to do, I want to double up my walls. So I'm going to grab some orange concrete and just add an extra layer around the entire, like around every side and the top of this cube that we got going on here. Just like how I did it for all the other rooms. So I'm going to start here at the front and just add an extra layer here. So now we have that all patched up, it all looks good. So we could actually start, we are going to have a window right in the middle, and then we could actually start doing the furnishings. So let me go ahead and mark out the window. We want to leave 1 space down here at the bottom, and then 2 spaces off to each side. So we're going to carve out 6 right here in the middle, and delete this extra layer. So it looks like that. So 1 down here at the bottom, 2 up here at the top, and then towards the back side, that back layer is where we're going to place the white stained glass panes. And now we have a window. Go ahead and grab some quartz stairs, and we're going to have these upside down along the top all the way on the edge, just wrapping it all around. So this is going to be like crown molding. And then right in the middle, let's go ahead and carve out 2 blocks, replace it with sea lanterns, and then fill that in or cover it up with the iron trap doors. And now that's our light source from the ceiling. And now we could actually start doing the furnishings. Okay, I'm going to start with the bed. So let's grab some full blocks of quartz. We'll head on over to the left. We're going to place 2 like that. Head on over to the right and place another 2. So that's going to be the footboard. That's going to be the headboard. For the headboard, we're going to have 2 quartz stairs just side by side facing up. For the footboard, we're just going to have 2 quartz slabs. And now, let's grab our light gray concrete. We're going to place 2 like that. Another 2. Then a row of white concrete. And then a row of light gray again. And now we're going to have our pillows. So if your snow melts, so I normally like to use snow here for the pillows. If your snow melts, feel free just to swap that out with some white carpet. Next up, let's grab a dragon head. We'll place this on the bed so it looks like a toy. And then we'll have just a zombie head and a creeper head in the windowsill. So it looks like a couple more toys. So we'll head on over to the left and we'll start doing the desk next. So I'm going to have a quartz stair, just 1 space away from the bed. So leaving 1 empty space here. Same with this side, 1 empty space there. And then we're going to have a quartz slab in the middle. And then lined up with that quartz slab, we're going to have a quartz stair to start off the chair. On each side of that, we'll have an item frame. And then real quick, let's just have a stair on each side. Leave 1 space in the middle because that's where we're going to place our painting. And that's going to be the start of a laptop. So we're going to have a stone button on the right and a stone pressure plate lined up with the painting. And there we go. Now we have a laptop. The button is in the wrong direction for me, but you can still tell what it is. Still looks good. We're going to have a flower pot with, how about the lily of the valley right there? And then we do need to grab an iron door. So I'll swap out the painting. We'll put that behind our stair. And now we have the chair all done. And now, let me grab some quartz slabs. We're going to have 3 like that. And then another 3 right there. So now we have some shelves. We'll have a flower pot there. And another one there. And I only have... Oh, there we go. Blue orchid. Okay. So yeah, we'll have that. And then we'll also grab another different flower for there. And then we'll have... How about another creeper head right here. Looks like another toy. And then let me go ahead and grab another flower. How about the cornflower? Okay, there we go. That all looks good. So now we have that wall done. And next up is the fish tank. But first, let me go ahead and have a carpet right here. So we'll carve out 3 blocks like that. We'll replace it with sea lanterns so we have the extra light source. And then we need the orange carpet and the light gray carpet. We'll have 2 orange and 1 light gray. Alrighty then. So yeah, now we have this final wall over here, which will be a fish tank. So for the fish tank, I have some blocks of quartz. I'm going to place 3 right there. We are also going to have a painting right here. So let me just carve out 2 holes so we remember. We're going to fill that in with sea lanterns and cover it up with the painting, just to add a little bit more here. But yeah, 3 blocks of quartz right there. And then we'll have 6 glass. And then we'll cover up every side down here at the bottom with some birch trap doors. Okay. And then we'll also be sure to do that up here at the top. So it looks like you could just open this up and feed the fish, even though you can't because the water is going to be behind this. But it still kind of looks like that. Alright. So now I'm going to go ahead and delete these blocks here. And try to like get in behind this. We are going to have to delete these. So now we have to replace this orange concrete here with sand. And then we'll have our water. And then we'll go ahead and add the coral. Okay. And then the fish. Let me get ready. Make sure to grab some orange concrete real quick. Or whichever, whatever you use for the wall here. So you can hurry up and patch this up before the fish come up. Now I have to wait. Oh, there we go. So now if you don't want your fish to despawn, you will have to name them. So you have to grab a name tag and name your fish, and then they won't despawn. So right now, because I didn't name them, they will despawn. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna cover this up. But yeah, over at the other side, my fish are still there because I put a name tag on them, and they should never despawn. So now, let me clear all that. We have the sea lantern and the paintings. I'm gonna add a little painting right there. That's cool. Okay. And this room is done. I believe that is everything. Does this look good? Are we forgetting something here? I don't think I added extra ones like this. Although you could do that. I guess if you wanted to. Hang on. There we go. You could add an extra 4. So like 2 trapdoors on each side. So it looks a little bit better. I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay. Anyway, yeah, there we go. We have the kids' bedroom. Not much going on in here. It's a lot smaller, a lot easier. So there we go. Now we just have one more bedroom, and that is modern bedroom number 2. Okay, the final bedroom we have left to do is modern bedroom number 2. So I'm gonna scroll through all the blocks we're gonna be using, and then we'll get right on into it. Alright, here's the dimensions for modern bedroom number 2. From left to right, we have 9 blocks. From front to back, we have 12. I do want to mention we will be placing our walls for the room on top of that shape. So anywhere where you see that white concrete is going to actually be where the walls are for the room. So all that space within the shape, all those grass blocks you see, is going to be the space for the actual room itself. so just keep that in mind. Alright, let's go ahead and start bringing up the walls for this room now. So we're going to be starting with the light gray concrete, and I'm starting on the side where the doorway is leading into the room. So we're going to have 2 light gray on each side, like that. And then the rest of this opening is where we're going to lay out where the doorway is going to be. So now on the rest of the white concrete, just continue with your light gray. And now on top of this, we're going to add another layer of light gray. And now a layer of chiseled quartz on top of this light gray. And then switch to some gray concrete, and we're going to have 4 layers on top of the chiseled quartz. Let's go ahead and mark out the doorway, so grab some pillar quartz blocks, and we're going to place 5 on each side. And then we're going to have 3 on our side in between those at the top. And then we're going to go ahead and double up this doorway. We're also going to double up all the other walls, but we'll do that in a second. So in each corner, we're just going to have a block like that, so you can see inside of the pillar quartz. Let's go on the other side and straighten these ones out as well. Like that. And then we're going to have 3 blocks on their side in between those corner ones. And then all these other ones are just going to be up and down right underneath the corner. Okay, let's cover up each corner with a stone button. And now we have the doorway leading into this bedroom all done. Feel free to make this however tall or however wide you actually need it for your specific room or for your specific build. Now on top of the doorway, we're going to continue with some gray concrete and fill in an extra 2 layers here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab some light gray, and I'm going to add first, let's go ahead and do our ceiling. So let's grab the white concrete, or should we use light gray? Let me think. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use white. So we're going to have this as the ceiling. So on the top layer of the gray concrete, just going to fill all this in with white concrete. Now what I'm going to do is grab some light gray, and I'm just going to start doubling up all the walls on every side, as well as the back and the top. So just an extra layer of light gray. This is what I would normally do for my normal builds. I always like to double up my walls. So I'm just going to wrap all the way around. I've done this for all the other rooms. So we have that all patched up, looks good, all doubled up. Now I'm going to start here and delete all these extra blocks here in the ground, and this is all going to be replaced with the spruce wood planks. So we pretty much have the main construction of the bedroom itself all taken care of and all done. So we do have a couple windows that we're going to be adding, but for the most part, we can start getting on into the furnishings. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and carve out a window here towards the right side. After we do that, I'm going to go ahead and start doing all the furnishings. Then we have a window right behind the bed, and we have some crown molding, and then we have this room all done. So let's go ahead and grab the white stained glass paints. We're going to leave one space here towards the right. We're going to cut out 2 spaces, and we're going to bring this 5 blocks in height. So we already cut out 1 layer. Then we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're left with 1 space here at the top. Let's go ahead and delete this extra layer here. And on that extra layer, well, real quick, first let's delete these 4 blocks, so that white concrete and that dirt. The dirt is going to be replaced with light gray concrete, and this space right here is going to be our spruce planks. Now all this other space is going to be our window, so go ahead and fill that in with white stained glass panes. Okay, and yeah, There we go. We have that window. So now I'm going to just add a couple sea lanterns, maybe right here and here. And we're going to start doing the furnishings. Then I'll be sure to carve out another window right over there after we do the bed. And then we'll do our crown molding. Alright, let's go ahead and get on to doing the furnishings now. So we're going to be starting with the bed. Make sure you have some full blocks of quartz. We're going to go to this back corner here and bring up a pillar all the way up to the ceiling. Skip over 2 spaces, so you're on the 3rd space, and do another pillar, just like the other one. And then down here at the bottom, we're going to fill this in with 2 extra spaces. And now, we're going to carve out a window. So if you don't want the window, it's not really a good spot to put a window for your build, don't even worry about it. But I'm going to go ahead and carve out, let's see, we have 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, because we want to leave 1 space here at the top. So let's fill this in with blocks of quartz right there. And then all of this other space, this extra layer, we're going to delete. And we're going to replace this with white stained glass panes. And these light gray concrete blocks here, we're also going to replace with blocks of quartz, as well as the other space all around in here. So all wrapped around is going to be replaced with full blocks of quartz. So it all looks really good. There's not a bunch of random blocks. There's just all solid quartz and it looks really nice. Okay. Now we're going to start shaping out where the bed is. So with your gray concrete, or should we use gray or light gray? We use gray. So we're going to have 3 blocks like that. And then another row of 3. Then you can switch to your light gray, have a row of 3 there. And then back to the gray and have another row of 3. So we have this bed kind of just like up against the wall. And then I'm going to have some snow layers here. If your snow melts, feel free to swap this out with some white carpet. So that's going to be the pillows. And then we have quartz slabs wrapping around the edge of the bed. And there we go. We have that all done. Now in this window seal area here, it's just going to be a little extra decorations. So I'm going to have a dragon head there. And a flower pot with maybe a fern right there. Okay, so that all looks good. Now let's go ahead and do our crown molding. Makes it a little bit easier to do it now since we added this. So now we could just wrap around the crown molding around the edge of that. So we're going to start here. And it's just going to be some upside down quartz stairs right along the top all the way around the outer edge. And just wrap this all around until you meet it back and curve these together right there. So it just wraps around that little shape. Alright. One thing I do want to do is switch out this gray concrete here with full blocks of quartz as well, so it flows together with the crown molding. Alright, let's add some extra lights in the ceiling. So I'm just going to grab a sea lantern and the iron trap doors. Where are they? Okay, I guess I didn't grab iron trap doors. Huh. Okay, yeah, we're definitely going to need those. So we're going to swap out this block here with a sea lantern and this one as well. And cover these up with iron trap doors. And there we go. That's going to be our light source in the ceiling. We are going to have some shelves over there. We're going to have a desk over here. And a little carpet and stuff. And then that's pretty much it for this room. Not much going on in here. Okay, let's go ahead and do the shelves over here on this wall. So we have our iron trap doors. We're going to place 3 right here on the top side of that bottom block. And then we'll go up here on the top side of these quartz, like these pillar quartz blocks, and have another shelf. And we can't really put much on these shelves except for maybe a couple skeleton skulls. So we'll go ahead and do that. So maybe just, how about 1 right there and 1 right there? Because I don't think, yeah, I can't add flower pots or anything on these. I could add maybe like this, but that looks a little bit too much. So I think just having that should be good. And then I am going to have a little light source here. So an end rod, white stained glass pane, and then an iron trap door. So I have the glass pane there, then the end rod, and the trap door. Looks like a little lamp hanging down from the ceiling. So that looks cool. And then we're going to have a desk over here. So we have 2 spaces right here, and we're going to be on the 3rd space. Let's go ahead and grab all of the blocks. So we need a quartz stair and the quartz slab. We'll start out with that. So we're going to have a quartz stair on its side like that. And then a slab. Then we're going to have a stair right there. And then one kind of on an angle like that. And then a slab there. And now right here where the space where the slab is, we're going to have a chair. So we're going to have a stair right there. We'll grab the iron door and some item frames. Behind the stair, place the iron door and item frame on each side. Alright. And now let's go ahead. We're going to have a lamp right here. So we'll do that. We'll grab an end rod and a gray concrete block. We'll have it right here on the corner of the desk. A little extra light source, extra decoration as well. And then on top of the desk, we're going to have a flower pot maybe right there and a fern. And now we're going to have a laptop right here. So let's go ahead and make sure we just have 1 space so we can place the painting easily. We're not going to get a bunch of random ones. I like that one. And then we need the stone pressure plate and a stone button. So the button is going to be the mouse and the pressure plate is going to be the keyboard. And now we have a laptop. There is a carpet I want right here. So we'll carve out a hole like this, a little rectangle. So it's a total of 8 blocks. We'll fill this in with sea lanterns. And then we'll cover it up with some gray carpet and light gray carpet. So how about, let's bring this over to here as well. Okay, like that. So it looks like it's kind of going a little bit, it's not actually underneath the desk, but I don't know, I like how that looks. Yeah, I think that looks good. So let's have maybe 3, or a total of 6 gray carpet there, and then 4 light gray there. And one final thing I want to do in this room is a painting over here. So we'll carve out a hole. And we'll fill this in with sea lanterns. And we'll cover it up with, oh, that's going to melt. Hang on, let me place that instead. We'll cover this up with the painting. And I want the blue skull one, because I think that'll look good in this room. Oh, or that other one that just popped up. Okay, yeah, we'll do that one. Adds a little bit of extra color to this room. I think blues and grays and whites all flow together really well. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this bedroom design video. And yeah, this took me 5.5 hours to record, and I've been recording it non-stop, so I'm gonna go relax now. But yeah, I hope this helped you guys out. Just a couple little bedroom design ideas that you guys could use in your own builds. That's gonna be it for this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.